explain this, you have to say that Papias's discussion of Gospels he ascribes to Mark and Matthew are to other Gospels we know nothing about, rather than to the Gospels we know as Mark and Matthew's Gospels. I find that a very...
One thing we could say about one thing we can say about Papias is the only thing he tells us two things about Matthew's Gospel. He says that the Gospel of Matthew is written in Hebrew, and he says that it is a collection of the sayings of Jesus, the logia, the sayings of Jesus. Matthew's Gospel that we have was not written in Hebrew. It was written in Greek, and it is not the sayings of Jesus. It's an account of his words and his deeds and his passion. And so what Papias is describing isn't anything at all like our Matthew.
Well, I think Papias made a mistake when he thought it was written in Hebrew, certainly. I mean, it's a very brief account, and usually Papias, of course, calls his own book the account of the sayings, logia, of Jesus. And actually, Papias clearly told stories about Jesus, because we have two or three of them. But I think the thing that really interested Papias was the words of Jesus. So he tended to use logia to cover the contents of a gospel, because the sayings of Jesus is what mattered to Papias.
That's right, but he doesn't call his book the Logia of Jesus. His book is the exposition of the Logia of Jesus.
Oh, it depends.
He's giving explanatory comments on the sayings of Jesus, and he says that Matthew wrote Logia. Well, Matthew's Gospel is not a collection of Logia. Matthew's Gospel is a narrative Gospel. And so both of the things Papias says about Matthew aren't true of our Matthew. And so, no, I don't think he's talking about our Matthew.
Papias's title, the translation of Papias's title is debatable, and I think it means account of the sayings of Jesus. In other words, Papias wrote something like a gospel book, a collection of sayings and stories about Jesus, and we have some of the stories. It wasn't just sayings.
I don't think Papias' book could be just an account of the Logia of Jesus, because it's 5 volumes long. He's actually giving an exposition of the teachings of Jesus.
Well, I can just refer to my recent article in the Journal of Theological Studies on the subject.
Well,
right. Well, we can both refer to a bunch of things we've written.